Hello. Good morning. It is still morning because it is 1 minute to 12. I come early, so, just to make sure everything is vibing as I desire it to vibe. And that's why I come at this time. So, yes, we are here right now because it's time for our Thursday show on the Love Channel, on the my YouTube channel, which is the 5 pillars of prosperity. And those 5 pillars are to make you feel amazing, beautiful, and spectacular. That is what it's all about. So, as soon as it's 12, I'll get the show on the road and I'll talk to you, about what you can do for what you want to do with your life. And every week, I bring something about life, something special, something enduring, something that is, amazing. So that's why I bring it to you today. And guess what? It's 12 o'clock. So let's get the show on the road, right? So my name is Tessa-Marie, and welcome to my YouTube channel where you will find the answers to life's true happiness and success. Subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when videos of this nature are released. Today's topic is write the script of your life and be the star, the producer and the star in the whole movie of your life. And you're wondering, why am I saying that? Why I'm doing that? Guess what? I had to take charge and I had to do this. I did that a long time ago. I am still teaching that to people today to make sure they too learn to write the story of their life and to star in it, to the script, how they want it to go, what they want it to be. So I did that years ago, right? I did that a few years ago. And when I did that, I knew what I desired to have in my life. I knew how I wanted to live my life. Not the life I was living at the time, but I had a script. I had like a movie script to the point where I could write about what it is I want to have in my life, what I want to see in my life, how I want to live my life, where I want to live my life, and how my life needs is going to be at later on in my life. But if I had just stayed with where I was in not so much the place, but in my thoughts, in my words, and in my actions, I wouldn't be where I am today. And where I am today is exactly where I love being, I desired to be. I love the life that I created. And it was purposely created for that purpose. I created it so I could love it. I didn't want a life created by others from me. I didn't like the idea of somebody telling me how to live my life. So when I realized that there were rules you had to live under, rules that didn't feel good for you, or rules that just didn't work for you, I made some choices. They weren't popular choices, they were really, really different choices. I had to star in that movie. I had to write the script. My parents couldn't write the script. And maybe my story is dull, but if I had not said, I'm going to go and to Canada, when I get there, I'm going to stay there, I would, of course, have a different life, a different type of, I'm West Indian, a fluent life. I would maybe be a housewife, never worked a day in my life, or maybe run a business belonging to my family, my father, have children, have helpers, live the life of that type of social class I was raising. But somehow that wasn't enough for me. And I knew that from a very early age. I remembered my dad saying to me after university, why don't you run the business, this business he had? But I also have a very long memory and I listen. I talk endlessly, but when you speak, I listen. And when my parents spoke, I listen. I remember he's explaining to us that guess what? I did not stay and work in my father's business. His father had many businesses. He was a politician. He got an honor from the queen. He was just, they were affluent people. And I said to him, "What did you do?" That was long before he told me about me working for him. I told my dad, he said, that I'm going to go become an architect and go live my life, not run his plantation and his estates and his distilleries and or whatever he had. I said, "Oh, yeah?" He said, "Yeah." And he said, my dad was so proud of me that when I succeeded, he handed me property that where we are living today, this vast piece of land was a gift. He said, "You know what? My brothers all stayed in working for my dad. All of my brothers did that." And he said, today they have nothing of their own. They have to wait for our dad to die for them to inherit, whereas I don't have that. So this guy forgot. He told that to the sponge with a memory of an elephant. I look like my dad. I have so much of him in me. So I turned back and I said, "So you want me to run this business, this store, this bakery stuff, but you didn't do it for yourself, but you want me to do it?" And he looked at me and he said, "Touche." And that's all he said. He said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I'm going to go to Canada and start my life there." He said, "Well, you have my blessing. I will miss you as you'll go." So that was the beginning of writing the script for the story of my life. But what I can say to you is that it's never too early or too late to write the script. It never is, you know. You can always, I was lucky to be raised in a family that was taught you independence, and you learned from what they said and you listened, and I absorbed. And then I took that and I threw it back at him, not meaning to be rude, but just saying, "You didn't do it, you want me to do it." It's similar to what Maya Angelou says. "You don't have a shirt, but you want to tell me where to get a shirt. You didn't do it, but you want me to do it," right? That doesn't make sense. So he knows. My father, my parents always discipline on what was happening. You couldn't be disciplined on something else. So you couldn't be angry, but you heard. So he had to work both ways. Anyway, and that's how this script came up. That's how I learned to create my own life. I am living the life that I chose. Right now, the life that I live right now, every day, is a life I created for myself. Every step of the way, I wrote things down. Every step of the way, I planned things. You might say that I am really a rigid planner. I am not. If a situation came up that had to shift me off track for a bit, the minute that was taken care of, I went right back on track. And that was how I started to create the movie of Tessa-Marie Shillingford's life. I created that life and now I am here. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming, all of you who are here. So that's why I say you are, you can write and create the script of your life and you can follow it. There are going to be detractors. And I'm not talking about only of human beings. There are going to be detractors of circumstances. There's going to be the detractors of where you are, where you live, the place the place you reside, the city, the country, the state, wherever you are. There are going to be detractors, but the detractors should never take you off track completely. The detractor can slow you down a bit. The detractor can let you regroup, but you have to know, you have to go back on track. You have to always see the picture of where it is you desire to be. It's important to write it down. Last week, I shared with you my goal setting journal. It's over there from all those years ago. It wasn't as fancy. It was just a red book with a hardcover, a few pages. But I always had one of those. I always wrote things down. What I desire to do, when I desire to do it, what I'm looking for. And I put it in the memory of my mind and it became auto. I would be sometimes be sitting somewhere or waiting in line and my mind would drift to that desire. So now I am retired. I retired at 63. That was planned. I had children. We had to make sure that everybody was educated properly. So there were choices along the way. My life did not go in a straight line. It was never a straight line. I started working at an embassy for the islands. I switched and went to the government of Ontario. I had my first child, didn't want to go to work every day. I opened my own business, starting it in my basement, teaching ceramic arts. People how to make mugs and dishes and stuff and dolls and figurines, right? So I taught that. I went to George Brown College and studied fashion design. So I became a fashion designer. I did it for a while and then I did it for myself, sewing and having fashion shows and doing all of this. And then I decided one day, damn it, I need to wear those fancy clothes I'm making. So I decided to walk into a bank and apply for a job at the TD Canada Trust Bank. In the meantime, though, I still taught ceramic arts at the high school, more money coming in. In the meantime, though, I went after work to the seniors' homes and taught it there. So I never stopped. I always do had a goal that at 63 years old, that's it. I am retiring and I do not know what it is, but I know that is the age to stop working for the bank. I wrote a book, Controlling the Debt Monster. It was a script. I started the book in 2002. I did not publish it until 2009. And that's when I retired from the bank. So, what I'm saying to you today, if you have a plan to get somewhere, to do something with your life, you have to be the star. You have to see the detractors, human and non-human detractors, and you have to deal with them along the way. So suppose you got married and that was part of the plan, but it didn't work out. Should that keep you trapped? Should that stop you from the big goal you had? My plan wasn't only about working and accumulating and investing and stuff like that. I had to learn to invest. When I went to the bank, I had to learn, I had to study to become an advisor and a planner and a manager. I had to study. But I found out the bank would pay for it, so I took it. That's what I'm saying to people. When you work for a company and they have profit sharing, or they say you put $1 and we give you 50 cents, you jump at it and you never stop. You invest in yourself and you invest with your money. You invest in your health. You invest in your spiritual life. You invest in your financial, of course, your emotional and your physical health. You invest in spirituality of your kind. Again, it's all about how you want to see the spiritual world that you live in. How do you want to see this? Because it is going to be quite different from the spiritual world of somebody else. But it's your life. You write the script. You be the star. And when you are the star, like all the superstars from Hollywood, you are going to have haters and you are going to have detractors. But they are not wearing the shoe. Your foot is in your life and you know where it pinches and you know what gives you pleasure. There's a certain time of your life you work and you work diligently. Do not work hard. Work smart. Think. Invest. A penny saved is a penny earned. It's never a little. It's always a little and a little more that you save each time money comes to you. When you get a tax refund, do not give it away by saying, I'm going to pay off my credit card. If you are one of the people who have done that, guess what? Flip your mind back for a moment. How has that worked for you? Did the same thing happen next year? You got it, you pay the credit card. What about you do as I did? You keep paying the credit card, but you take that tax refund and you invest it. You put it aside because what causes you to go into debt is a lack of flow, a lack of cash flow. So if you have a nice little base sitting over here of your tax refund and an emergency comes, you do not have to use the credit card. So you're not increasing your debt level. You might decrease your savings, but you can build it up again. Because when you get in debt, all of us know it's difficult to get out of it. So you see, you have to learn to do things for yourself. Now, when you say you're doing it, somebody might say, no, don't do that, do this. That is their size of shoe. They take a size 8. I am not an ordinary woman. I take a size 10. So therefore, I am going to be a lot more dramatic. I'm going to be a lot more out there. I'm going to be a lot more this and a lot more that. And that's okay, because that's my life. That is the script of yours. And when yours is not like mine, I cannot make you me. If I see you're falling or you're stumbling and you do not know what to do, I will give a hand. But if you do not hold the hand, I cannot keep giving it, because I cannot make you into what you are not meant to be, because you have to decide what kind of man and woman I am going to be. You have to write the script of your life, and you have to put yourself in that movie, sitting there and be the star. And when you get to that top and you are the star, work a little harder to be a bigger star. And when the time comes and you have put yourself in a financial, emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical pillar that's high, and you can feel the dream, and you have touched it, and you are going to get a bottle of wine. You get that bottle of wine that costs more than you would normally pay. That is satisfaction. You put yourself to that position. One day I was talking to my cousin, and she said to me, "You know, Tessa-Marie, I am loading my dishwasher one night, and some friend of mine called me. And when she called me, she said, 'What is that ruckus?' I said, 'I'm loading the dishwasher.' And she said to me, 'You mean you live with you and your daughter and you have a dishwasher? Why can't you not do dishes by hand?' And she said, I said to her, 'I have put myself in a position never to do dishes again by hand. I did it as a child, and that was one of my goals.' And I hung up the phone on her. So you see, it's a simple thing. And that this detractor didn't like it, that she was doing her dishes by hand. The detractor didn't like it. But with her washing machine. She thought, no, you should, why don't do it by hand? It's just the two of you. But she didn't know that as a young girl, my cousin had to do dishes by hand. And she swore to herself, I will never, ever do dishes by hand. I am going to make sure when I have my own home, I have a dishwasher. And she did. So that was another type of detractor. So when I talk of a detractor, it doesn't only mean that way a spouse telling you how to live your life or all of that. But sometimes a detractor could be the weather. So it's raining. So are you going to hide because you're made of sugar or salt? Whereas you have to go out there. It's raining, you fertilize your lawn, you put the seeds down. I'm just saying, it's sunny. But remember when you were upset, when it was cold, get out there, do what you have to do. You have a life to live. You have a script. And do not hide your success. As I said, you want a T-bone steak, you want a tomahawk steak, then you buy that bloody tomahawk steak, because guess what? You already paid the price by blood, sweat, and tears when you were doing the things that were challenging. When you said no to your father to run his own business like I did, and when you had to start from scratch like I did, and when you could only save $1.75 a week like I did, and it comes to the point that there is no limit when you go to Japan and have a holiday like my friend Yuko goes, and her mom says, I would love to buy some gifts for my friends in my area. And Yuko said, go right ahead. I have planned and I have a vacation account and all the money is to be spent. Or when you are like Kathleen, who has a Christmas account and for one account is 4 vacations a year. And when the time comes, she lets it loose because she plans. She's in the script. She enjoys it. And that's what it is. You have to be the star. You are writing the script. You are creating the life, and the detractions and all the things that are going to stop you or coming in your way. You have to get over them. You have to pass through them, underneath them, across from them. You have to chew on them, but get them out of your way, because you have a picture for later. You want to stand in your garden and enjoy your roses, your pergola. That's what I do. I enjoy them. I sit in the pergola no matter what weather if I choose to, because you see, when I didn't have it, I desired it. And now I have it, I will use it. I worked for over 50 years cultivating rose bushes. So when I step out there, that was part of my creation, to have a garden that I could sit and relax in and look at the roses and smell each one of them and count their petals and enjoy the birds and the bees and the squirrel and the this and the that. I created it. And I am saying to you, you can create your life no matter where you are, how difficult it is right now, how dark it is, how many children are pulling at your feet and you cannot see the way. Listen, they do grow up. Hold on. Do not give up on yourself. Hold on. Be the mother, be the father, but hold on. You too will get to that point. But you have to write it down. You have to script it. You have to desire it. You have to plan it. You have to stay focused on it. You can be detracted, but you come back on track, because you see, at the end of the day, when you get to wherever we go when we die, you stand with the God of songs, the God of love, the God of action, and you're going to say, I did it all. I did it all. Everything that was placed in front of me, I took it on. And here I am, fulfill, sign, and deliver. I am back here. I did my best. Write your script. Nobody can write it for you. This is an extremely long one, but anyway, guys, thank you. Um, it gave a big joy. What my mom had a smile, you could say, that gave a big joy. You think? Good for her. Yes, I am with it. Invest in yourself is one of the best things that I have done. So you see, yeah, it is. Other books, thank you for, ordering my books. I remember you wrote your ideal partner. Yes, I wrote my ideal partner. He respected your desire. My dad did. He did. Hi everyone, let me know. Yeah, and nobody has told us where they are. But anyway, guys, it is amazing. Be yourself. Thank you for that. Yuko said that smile. It was good. And sometimes, we have something to share, and it's not the right time. And everybody looks at you, me now at 77. On May 10th, I'll be 78. And I feel gorgeous. Somebody said to me, what is the best year of your life, the best decade? My 30s. I bloom. I open up. It's like a lotus flower. I became alive. And I'm still in my 30s. I feel amazing, but I work on those 5 pillars every day. Every day. Emotionally, I meditate, I pray. Mentally, I learn new things, and many of them are very, very challenging, but I learn. When I was a young girl, there was no internet. There was barely a phone and a black and white TV. Nowadays, the phone can tell me what time to get up. The TV can wake me up and maybe next time give me a cup of tea. And that is mental development. Physically, I exercise, I did yoga, I danced, I jumped, I did everything. And here I am. It's not perfect. Nothing was perfect, but everything was consistent. I respect other people, and I develop my pillar of spirituality by letting people be who they are when they are. That was the script of my life. I never said to my husband, stop smoking. He should know. And I didn't tell him it's going to kill you. He should know. But that was his desire. And I didn't know, because I do not have an addictive personality, and I couldn't compare what I'm experiencing with what he is experiencing. So I let him be himself. Then financially, it wasn't always easy. The journey was tough. $1.75 every week. And at a seminar, when I put 3.50 on the board for every 2 weeks, a young whippersnapper said to me, Miss, you have the decimal in the wrong place. And I said, no, honey, it was $3.50 every 2 weeks. And that gave me the life. Without that foundation, without the nurturing, without making it to $2, we're making it to 25, without making it $7, I wouldn't be here doing this today, because it all worked out in the end. But man, it was a long journey and a lot of fun, ups and downs, many, many detractors. And guess what? As long as you're alive and you're moving, you're going to have detractors. I still have detractors. So have a wonderful, absolutely wonderful Thursday, and see you there back time next time. And remember to, you know, subscribe to the channel and let somebody else get it. If you got it, let somebody gets a little bit of it. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Thank you, Yuko. Hi, everyone. Thank you for all what I delivered to you today. I don't know if it was good, but thank you for joining, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. Have a fabulous day. Take care. Bye bye.